The smoke-filled trenches seemed to vanish. Elijah found himself on an expansive, desolate plain. The sky was painted an angry shade of crimson, and the ground was cold, metallic, and unyielding beneath his feet. There was a stillness, punctuated only by the rhythmic heartbeat that echoed around him. From the horizon, a tall, looming figure approached, the form of Legion, ever-changing, sometimes appearing as an intricate assembly of machinery, other times as a monstrous organic shape, but always exuding an oppressive and overpowering energy. "Elijah," the entity's voice echoed, both soothing and menacing. "Do you see the potential? The raw, boundless power that progress offers?" As Legion spoke, visions formed around them. Battles won effortlessly, enemies cowering in fear. The tide of war shifted decisively. Machines and men operating in flawless sync, decimating anything in their path. The allure of such dominance was palpable. "You can have this, all of it." Legion's voice grew seductive, wrapping around Elijah like a velvet shroud. "With my help, you will be unstoppable, reshaping the very fabric of this war. Think of the lives you could save, the victories you could claim." But as the visions grew more grandiose, there was an undercurrent of darkness. Bodies strewn across the battlefield, the very earth soaked in blood. The cries of the dying echoing hauntingly. Every image of victory was paired with a grotesque tableau of destruction. "What do you want from me?" Elijah whispered, the weight of the offer pressing on him. "Only a small thing," Legion murmured, its tone dripping with false sweetness. "Embrace me. Accept the power and the progress I represent. Let me in, and the world will be yours to command." Images flashed before Elijah's eyes. Himself, standing atop a mountain of lifeless bodies, machinery fused to his skin, eyes devoid of any humanity. The very essence of what made him humanity, the very essence of what made him human seemed to be draining away, replaced by cold, unyielding steel. "But what's the cost?" Elijah managed to choke out, tears streaming down his face. Legion leaned in, the whispering voice now a guttural growl. "Your soul, your very essence, the humanity that connects you to past generations, to James Freeman. Surrender it to me." The battlefield, the machines, the promise of power. It was intoxicating. But the vision of James Freeman, the memory of chains made of steel and gears, reminded Elijah of the price of such progress. Legion's form grew larger, more intimidating. "Choose, Elijah. Power and dominion, or continue in your pathetic struggle, holding on to outdated ideals." Elijah felt himself teetering on the edge, the temptation pulling him towards the abyss. But deep within, the legacy of his ancestors and the weight of their sacrifices gave him strength. "No," he whispered defiantly, "I won't be your puppet." Legion roared in frustration, the ground trembling, but Elijah stood firm. As the entity's rage intensified, the desolate plain began to crumble around them, and Elijah felt himself being pulled back to the realm of the living, the haunting offer of the devil's bargain still echoing in his ears. Elijah's eyes snapped open, the first rays of dawn filtering through the mud-caked tent. The heaviness in his chest was palpable, as though a great weight was pressing down upon him. The remnants of the dream, or rather the nightmare, clung to him like a shroud. He pushed himself upright, every joint aching as if he had been carrying the weight of the world. The lines between dream and reality seemed to blur. Was it truly a dream, or a premonition of a choice he'd soon have to make? As he stepped out of the tent, the world seemed different. The metallic beasts and war machines that littered the camp whispered promises of power. The rhythmic churning of engines and the mechanical hum were no longer just sounds. They were seductive calls echoing Legion's tempting offer. "Hey, you all right?" Corporal Reynolds, a close friend, noticed Elijah's distress. Elijah hesitated, the memories of the dream and his confrontation with Legion flooding back. "Just a bad dream, Reynolds. Nothing to worry about." Reynolds frowned, concern evident in his gaze. "You've been distant lately. More so than the others. This war, these machines, they're changing all of us." Elijah nodded, looking around. Every piece of machinery seemed alive, watching him, waiting for a decision. The monstrous tanks, the rapid-fire machine guns, the gas masks hanging ominously, all whispered of power, of dominion. As the day wore on, the temptations grew stronger. Every time he operated a machine or gave an order, he felt the seductive pull of Legion. Would it really be so bad to have that power? To turn the tide of the war? To end the suffering? That evening, as darkness enveloped the camp, Elijah found himself alone, contemplating the twisted metal and machines around him. The cold, hard steel seemed to beckon, its touch both chilling and enticing. The power to change the course of this war, to save countless lives. The whispering voice of Legion echoed in his mind, all at your fingertips. Tears streamed down Elijah's face as he battled the internal tempest. The memories of his ancestors, the struggles of James Freeman, the weight of their sacrifices, all pushed him towards resistance. But the allure of the power, the promise of ending the war, tugged at his very soul. As he gripped the cold steel of a nearby machine gun, its surface seemed to pulse with life. The boundary between man and machine, between humanity and raw power, seemed to diminish. The chapter closed with Elijah, silhouetted against the dim campfires, his face a mask of anguish and resolve, teetering on the brink. The choice before him was clear: to embrace the might offered by Legion and reshape the world, or to hold on to his humanity, even if it meant facing insurmountable odds.